Greetings and salutations, everyone. It's time for the Road Most Taken once again. This video is about Tomb of the Wizard King, one of my favorite quests, aka the Chamber of Raiyum, aka one of the best quests in the game for like experience and loot at the same time. Believe it or not, this is a big one. Way back in the day, before they kind of went cray cray on having like bonus weekends every weekend. They would give us like apology pluses. So like if there was an unexpected amount of downtime, they would give us these bonus loot weekends, stuff like that. This was one of the top quests in the game that people would run over and over and over again when they gave us one of those apology weekends, because there's so many chests, they're so just filled with treasure.
You enter the tomb's antechamber.
It was just an incredibly popular quest chain for getting boosted. We have those of you who are like old DDO cast fans might remember Michael the Wise. Used to do a segment on DDO cast, and he joined the Defense Guild some amount of years ago, because a lot of the DDO cast people eventually have somebody here in the guild, and I literally, every time I saw him I remember one weekend that they did one of these apology weekend things, literally every time I logged in, he was in this quest trying to ransack all this chest. He was just crazy about it. I don't think there's that much loot in here, but clearly some people think so. Again, this was pre-level 20 content, so keep that in mind as well.
The gnolls are no longer a threat. Hurry, for the Wizard King awaits.
Think about how much better the platinum, or the gold and the platinum was in this quest before level 20. Alright, so we got a couple of golems right here, but they are not iron golems, they're clay golems, so we don't want to have acid on us. Which is fine, because we're going to just burn them out instead. Of course, we got a healing curse at the last possible second. Jerks. It's fine. Drink a potion kind of towards the end here. Maybe it'll prevent us. So, this quest is a little bit different. You have 3 tunnels. Should we do it with everything? We'll start by going through it like everything, but then we'll see where we end up. I tend to do this quest as a Zerg Fest anymore. Basically that means that I will Zerg through the various tunnels. When I find King Raiyum, I take him out. I don't worry about traps because I don't expect to get through the whole quest. Don't necessarily worry about breakables or things like that, again, because I don't plan on getting through the whole quest before running into King Raiyum. But, see what happens on this go around. So as I mentioned, there are 3 tunnels. 1, 2, and 3. I tend to go around them in a counterclockwise order, and that is how I count them off. So, we're currently in what I like to think of as Tunnel 1. People who go go clockwise would, of course, think of this as Tunnel 3. I don't have a good reason for why I go counterclockwise and other people go clockwise. You're going to notice that you basically work your way up every time, either by pulling a lever or taking out a baddie along the way, and that allows you to proceed further forward. If you see a sarcophagus at the top of the stairs, know that there's about a, I don't know, like a 4.5, 5 foot window where a mummy will spawn if you step in there. It's like right at the top of the stairs. but you can avoid it by jumping to the side. If you run across the front, you'll also spawn it. So if you opt to avoid it, you have to continue to avoid it. Also, this floor or these floors will fall out on you, and if you do, you'll end up in a little locked room below with some monsters and a couple of levers. So what most people like to do is they hug this wall and walk around. Just kind of increases the likelihood that you will not fall through the middle of the floor and get trapped. Alright. So, couple of tips. A couple of things we can do. We can click on this right here and see which tunnel we're in. We are not in the Wizard King. We're in one of the Wizard King optional things. That does require an intelligence check. And then pulling these levers, if they're trapped, can often refer to or land you in a lot of hot water. Big traps. Lots of force damage. I can't remember if there's another like crazy type of damage. I feel like there's a big fire damage as well, maybe a big acid explosion at one point. But the one that I remember the most is the force. If you don't see any monsters, that means there's some methods hanging out. Oh, and these doors right here can close on you until you have to deal with like one guy in melee combat inside those little rooms. And yeah, I think that's basically the quest. The rest of it's just working our way up. There's a ton of optionals along the way. Defeat these gatekeepers. There's going to be mini bosses where we have gathered those souls. There's two genies and an Ifrit. There's a seal for the Ifrit, but it is in the basement of this quest. So unless you happen to fall to the bottom, there's not really a good reason to go get it unless you're on Epic. If you're planning on doing the quest on Epic, then there's a little bit of value in, say, zerging in on normal or casual or whatever difficulty you feel like, and just kind of looking for the seal. And then this way there's one less difficult fight for you in the Epic version of the quest. I don't think people really do that anymore. Last time I did one of these that mattered, I did take the time to do it, but pretty sure I'm the exception to the rule to that any longer. Alright, so here's the first genie. We're going to hold up the seal. He's going to go away. So basically, for carrying around that piece of loot, we got 2,000 experience points from the walk-ups. Be a sweet chest in here. 2 collectibles. And then what I like to do, because I don't like having to do things, I like to come back and fight this guy back here. And then his floor will fall out. I didn't want to fall down here though. But if you do fall down, there's a couple of shrines in here. But we'll just ignore back to the beginning. So anyway, I prefer not to fall down, and then I'll just run back down the tunnel. The couple of reasons for that: one, I find it to be a little bit shorter. And 2, in the event that some sections of the floor fall out while you're running between tunnels 1, 2, 3, it obviously reduces the likelihood that you have to run back through some tunnels or some area of floor that have fallen out. So that's tunnel 1. So we're going to head to tunnel 2. Now there could be traps right here. along the way. If there are, just pause and take care of them. And then this section right here, the floor can fall away. Normally, if the floor is going to fall away, it's because there's two characters too close together, like you and your hireling, or you and another party member. But if you go through one at a time, you'll notice that it generally is not a problem. You can have half the floor fall out. You can have the whole floor fall out. And you will... Wow, a lot of traps today. And when the floor falls out, like I said, you'll fall down into the basement, either all the way down or part of the way down. Hello, how am I? I'm good. How are you? You're welcome to ask questions and bring up conversations. If it's something that I feel like we don't want to put on the video, we'll just wait until after the quest is done and finish the video and we'll talk about it. So, if you have something going on there, Legion, feel free to say hello. We even had a viewer today both renew their subscription and fire off numerous donations to be on the video. I don't know if they went with the intention of being in the video, but it was pretty great to have all that stuff in the little animations and stuff pop up in the video chain. So again, we're avoiding extra fights so we don't have to take the time to fight. Just moving along. Auto search is really nice in this quest. I'll give it that. Clearly Remington is home because the door slammed and the dogs went off. Apologize for that. But he had to turn in his room key after his inspection today. He's moving home to take some prerequisites to get into a nursing program. Alright, so see that green stuff over there? It's like a force field for undead. Undead can walk on it, but we fall through. Don't remember if Pale Masters in form can walk through it. I feel like they cannot. Alright, so again we mentioned that if we don't see bad guys, that means there's methods. There's always some sort of guardian here, and this is the King Raiyum, so perfect. I mentioned before that I tend to like not going through and saving to get every single second of experience. Oh, there's the floor falling out. We got so lucky there. We should have fallen down that hole and had to do shenanigans to get out. I might even fall down holes on purpose next time, just to show you guys what it's like down in these various holes. But once you do the first tunnel, basically all the tunnels are the same. There's not like big variations on theme here. It's just where they're gonna put the traps on any given floor, and it does randomize a wee bit. Alright, we'll probably have this door close on us. And if it does, we just have to melee down the guy that spawns. Yep. Or DPS him down in a locked chamber. Doesn't have to be melee, I suppose. One of the big perks here is if you tab around and you see a chest inside this hidden door, then you open it and loot the chest. If you tab around and you do not detect a chest through that secret door, just ignore it. That means there's just a monster waiting for you to try to hit you. Like a clay golem, if I remember correctly. This one will probably also lock us in. Oh, it didn't. Sweet victory is ours. Alright, hop around. Set these guys on fire. Move around everything else. Bad touch, bad touch. We got a fragment over there, a chest over here. Vorpal pick. I don't know what we're gonna do. Someone might accidentally pick their teeth and take their head off. I don't think we could sell that in good conscience. Alright, so again, we don't have the fire seal. The fire seal is somewhere down in the basement. So we just have to knock this guy out. Let's actually switch to not fire. Now King Raiyum here, he's got some pretty hefty damage reduction. I believe it's he bypass or it takes bludgeoning to bypass. He's also like immune to 4th level spells and lower.
Wizard King of the Nectarum.
That's what this mantle vulnerability is. So you can't firewall him, you can't lightning bolt him, fireball him, etc. And he likes to cast disintegrates.
The Wizard King collapses into a
so be careful about all those things. Said I like to just pick this up right away. I don't screw around with doing everything. I do still do the last tunnel, but I don't come back. And I'll show you guys why here in a second. Get healed up. We'll start leaving. Again, remember, I tend to walk back down where we came. This does a couple things for us. One, if we need to clean up any trash, it's very easy to kind of just pick up some trash along the way. And two, of course, you don't have to walk all the way back through the quest. So if we were to D-door, we'd have to run all the way back through that first big room and around the maze to basically get where we're going, without having to re-clear mobs on the other side. Because you could always go the other way. But we already have cleaned out this side. We already know where the danger is so far. And we can just ignore it and just walk out. I personally find that to be the quickest way to get back to here. Not everyone will agree, but again, we're talking about the way I do quests, right? That's what those tutorials are about. That should be all the trash. And there's tunnel number 3. Tunnel number 3 is the one with the most deviation. And it's all right here at the very beginning. So instead of having your first big room that you have to go deal with, you just have to kind of like go up this little cubby, clean out like 2 or 3 mummy guardians, and pull this lever. As opposed to the other rooms, I mean, you guys have just watched, they're significantly different. So again, we're no longer worried about trap boxes from the pure fact that we finished the quest. Another reason why I tend not to worry about trap boxes and stuff like that is, again, if I get the opportunity to do like what I'm doing right now, there's no reason really to mess around to get additional traps, to get big trap bonuses. Like, what did we get? Oh, I guess we got 9. I guess that was enough to get us the full trap bonus. Alright, maybe I've changed my ways. Maybe, now that I know it's 9, maybe I'll start doing the first 9 traps and skipping the rest. If this floor falls down, we'll jump down on purpose to take a look at it. Alright, excellent. We got the bonus chest over here. Now, just because some of these have been trapped doesn't mean they're all trapped. But it also didn't mean that that one wasn't trapped. It could have just as easily been trapped. The fact that I ran over there by where the trap box would spawn kind of told me it wasn't trapped, but it could have been. Yay, we fell down a hole. So this is pretty typical of what these doors look like. Sometimes there'll be 1 lever to pull, sometimes 2. But as long as you're in this room, monsters will continue to spawn. I don't know if this is a reasonable spawn rate that people would try to farm this room as a place to like get monster champions or something, but I suppose it could be. Again, I like using the traps to clear danger. If you have a couple of bad guys in those traps, they get chopped up really quick. This is also a room that I oftentimes will just use my hireling to pull the levers. Like, I'll get the aggro of these monsters, and then depending on what my build is like, if I'm on a melee or somebody who can't really handle himself in kind of various situations, I will err on the side of using a hireling to run across and open the doors, because you can always just call the hireling back to you to kind of rescue it, as it were. So, and once the door slams closed, then you've got the experience. So, I fail my concentration. I'm gonna die. I don't know what happened all of a sudden. We started taking a lot of damage from someplace I don't even recognize. No, we dropped our Kujal again. What happened? Killed by Eternal Hunter. So that's just one of these archers? Huh. Okay, well one of them just must have been popping us really good. Feels like a bit of a shock, but... yeah, this is one of the reasons I like to use a little hireling here. Huh. Yeah, we're only taking like 10 from the archer. I don't understand where all of that experience, all that like big damage was coming from. Oh, no idea. So weird. We're almost done too. Alright, so we're going to use our last seal. We'll grab our collectibles. There's a treasure chest. Feels bad. And I left my Kujal back there. Should we go get it? Of course we should go get Man, we've died more today. We dropped this Cujo on the ground more today than I think we have. Well, we haven't died since we picked it up before today. So, yeah. Alright, get this guy's attention.
The jackal of Manectaran stares at you with...
This is a situation where we're going to go ahead and fall down. So, I mentioned before the reason why I prefer to have this kind of go through
the stone floor
is that
and crumbles beneath your feet.
if you were to have to clear all these tunnels and then do King Raiyum, King Raiyum doesn't open up the floor down below. So, if you wanted to loot this room where the special chests are, you'd have to go all the way back to King Raiyum, finish the quest by picking up the soul, and then you have to fight your way either back up one of the tunnels to fall down here, or go through like the bottom section, which just means so much extra work compared to what this was. So this is showing 16 minutes for that 35,000 experience. Unfortunately, since I died, I don't have a really accurate time. Let's call it 26 minutes. That's the length of the video, but of course that's not super accurate either. But somewhere in that ballpark for that 35,000 plus what, another 3,000 for doing the optional, plus another 2,500 for doing the other optional. So a little bit, and then the third big optional, which is again another like 1,500, I think, somewhere in that ballpark. So call it 42,000 or something in 26 minutes. Wow, look at this lag. See, I think that's what killed us. Look how bad that is. I don't think it was anything that we did there. I think it was just really nasty lag like that. Alright, so we're gonna try really hard to get to the quest giver. Oh man. Red, I don't know if you're still playing, but man, is it bad right this minute.
Yeah, a little bit over here. It's not super bad, but it's a little hiccup here and there.
Oh man, I feel like I should go and clip this Twitch video just to have it be like the lag's not that bad.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not getting that bad of experience.
Anyway, with that, I think we're going to wrap up this video, and we'll see you guys real soon. Again, if you enjoyed it, please slam those like, subscribe, follow buttons. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you again real soon. Toodles.